Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stephanie Helgeson, Director of Athletics at the University of Minnesota Crookston.
And I'm Kevin Thompson. Does everybody hear me okay? I got the lapel mic on. Great. I was going to say that I'm Brandy Chafee. And you're probably wondering, well, they look different, but their hairstyle is the same, if you know Brandy. Unfortunately, she cannot be here tonight. It's usually a Brandy Steph show for this event every year, and we appreciate both of them. But unfortunately, Brandy tonight could not be part of the celebration because of a family health situation. It's not a bad situation, but she had to be away during this time period. But we send her our warm thoughts, and she wanted me to express to you that this is one of her favorite nights, and she really regrets not being able to be here tonight to really celebrate all of you. She wanted to wish our award recipients tonight sincere congratulations, and all alumni and friends the most golden homecoming yet. And of course, we send her our well wishes this weekend. So I am Kevin Thompson, and I am the interim director of alumni or advancement and alumni relations here at UMC. I've been here for 19 years, and it is my great pleasure to step in for Brandy. I'm no Brandy Chafee, I'll tell you that much, but I'll do the best that I can. Like Brandy, this is one of my favorite events of the entire year. It's such a special time to not only welcome our alumni home and celebrate them, and also to really know how big of a night this is for them because of these awards and inductions. It's also just a great opportunity for them to bring their family and for all of us to experience the joy tonight that occurs in this special evening. I usually, as a faculty member and in my previous role as an administrator and in my current role, I always leave tonight's celebration with two thoughts. One, we have such amazing alumni. We really do. They're just doing amazing stuff. My second thought is, Kevin, what are you doing with your life? Because they are doing amazing things, and I'm like, I better get started. I got to get busy or something because I'm just not, I don't feel like I'm measuring up to the great alumni that we have. So we are so grateful to have you all here to be part of this special evening. And the 2023 Alumni Award Celebration is our biggest night of our homecoming. This is homecoming week, which is a very exciting time period. And I hope that you all think about joining us tomorrow. We have a number of great events throughout Saturday and also on Sunday for you to partake in. We want to recognize our alumni tonight due to their promise, due to their impact, and due to the significance of their records as student athletes. It always brings a great energy to our campus to have alumni for students, but also the community and to our alumni and just in friends in general. We hope that you spend the time to meander around campus and to take advantage of those events. Today was such a beautiful day. We couldn't ask for a better day for an event like this, and tomorrow I think is not going to be as sunny, but it's still going to be pretty nice, which is great because we have some outdoor events that we have going on again this weekend. I'd like to encourage to recognize all the folks that went into making tonight so special, and we'll do that at the end. But I do want to acknowledge the Alumni Association Board and also the Athletic Hall of Fame Committee. And those folks, put in a lot of work, and their hearts are for UMC. So we want to acknowledge them, and some of them are here tonight. So if you could stand, if you're part of the Alumni Association Board as well as the Athletic Hall of Fame Board, please stand. Okay, thank you. In addition, we are happy to acknowledge or recognize our 1973 championship football team. Who are celebrating the 50th anniversary since the big win in '73 and we're recognizing them tomorrow at a banner-raising celebration from 9:30 until 10 over at the gymnasium. So please join us. It's a free event, and we have several of the football players here tonight celebrating with us. If you're part of the 1973 football team, if you would mind standing so we can acknowledge you, if you are able. So please join us tomorrow for that great event. To them, our 1973 football champions, to all of our alumni who are here tonight, welcome home.
Thank you. We'd also like to recognize that in addition to our campus celebrating its 30th year of delivering baccalaureate degrees, it's also the 30th anniversary of our UMC Team Backer organization, in which we have one of its founding members here tonight. Al Larson, who sadly passed away earlier this year, and Mark Bachmeyer, former UMC athletic director and coach, began the process of creating an organization to bring attention to UMC athletics and raise support and dollars for student athlete scholarships. Team Backers officially launched in the fall of 1993. Tonight seemed like a perfect opportunity to say thank you to Al and Marv and acknowledge their devotion and longstanding support for the Crookston campus, the athletic program, and our student athletes. Marv, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you, Mark. When we made the journey down to Division II, I know we had $140,000 in athletic scholarships that we had. Today we give out $1.4 million. So without the vision and the hard work that Team Backers did, what Marv and Al did, and all the meetings they had, we wouldn't be where we're at today. So thank you, Marv, for all your support for our student athletes. And now it's a pleasure to welcome Chancellor Mary Holt's class, who will bring greetings from the campus.
Well, welcome everyone. We're so glad and so excited that you're here. And Kevin is right. These are really bright lights. For some of you who get to come up later, I'll just give you a warning. So, well, as I said, it's such a joy to have our alumni come back and come with us and celebrate. And as we're going to celebrate some very exemplary work and exemplary lives that some of you have given as part of being a University of Minnesota Crookston alumni. Kevin, you mentioned that you maybe didn't quite make that area, and that was your own fault because he chose to, he's a local guy, but he chose to go to UNB instead of the University of Minnesota Crookston. So I'm sorry, you made a bad choice when you were 18, but we hope that there's some redemption for you. So we're going to hope for that. So, but again, it is such a joy to have you all come here. And if you haven't had a chance to walk around campus, I please encourage you to do that. I had some of the great class of 1973 football team ask me how things were going here at the university. And I am going to be a little proud and say that this year, I think we were the only campus in the University of Minnesota system for sure, and I think across the whole state of Minnesota, that had a double-digit increase in student enrollment. So we are so excited about that. And the reason that we're so excited about it is because many of you and others have been so supportive of our students. Our students often come as we have a group of international students. Some come from many a ways away across the ocean, and then some local. And many of the gifts that you give, both in monetary support as well as your mentorship and your support of our students, makes such a difference on them coming and staying with us. And so thank you to all of you who support our students. And just a 30-second update, because I asked a former coach, Sean Stassen, I can't even talk tonight, and said, what should I tell them in greetings? He goes, keep it short, that's all that matters. So keeping it short, we have around 650 to 680 students on campus. We have close to 1,600 students who join us online, and we have 36 majors. Actually, of those 36 majors, 14 of those are entirely online. And so later on, I'm going to share with you kind of where I think we're going, but just wanted to give you a few updates on what's going on with the campus, and then of course have such dedicated faculty and both our faculty members and our staff who help our students, who lead them through the journey. So again, welcome. I'll keep it short. Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to the celebration. And now we have George French. How many of you were here when George was here? Please raise your hand. Yeah, quite a few of you. That's what I thought. So George has provided such wonderful music talent and works with our students. So tonight, George is going to provide special music with two of our students. I was going to say they're Elisa Freud and Lane Fenner, who are going to provide special music to us. So please join me in welcoming them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. This has been fun here to work here with both Lane and also with Eliza. They are two of our leaders in our choir, and they're going to sing probably one of the happiest Broadway show tunes that I know of from Bye Bye Birdie, and it is called Put on a Happy Face.
Lights are bright.
Gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face.
Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face. Take off that gloomy mask of tragedy. It's not your style. You look so good that you'll be glad you decided to smile. Pick out a pleasant outlook. Stick out that noble chin.
Wipe off that full of doubt look.
Snap on a happy grin. And spread sunshine all over the place. Just put on a happy face.
Gray skies are gonna
Gray skies are gonna clear
put on a
up.
happy face.
Put on a happy face.
Brush off the clouds and cheer
Brush off the clouds and
Put
cheer
on a
up.
happy face.
Put on a happy. Take off that gloomy mask of tragedy. It's not your style. You look so good that you'll be glad you decided to smile. Pick out a pleasant outlook. Stick out that noble
Stick out that
chin.
noble chin.
Wipe off that full of doubt
Wipe off that
look.
full of
Step
doubt
on
look.
a happy
Step on a
grin
grin
and spread sunshine all over the place. Just put on a happy face and spread sunshine all over the place. Just put on a happy face, happy face. Thank you, Chancellor Mary, for your great comments tonight and the greetings to the campus. I don't really appreciate the other comment about UND, but that's okay. Actually, I only went to UND because this was a four-year institution, so I totally would have.
Could have came here when it was 2 year.
I could have come here as a 2-year. Anyway, thanks, Steph. So thank you to Chancellor for the great greetings, and it's great news about our enrollment this fall. It's awesome for all of us to celebrate those numbers and wanting them to increase from year to year. And thank you to George and our two students, and also Ray for the great music tonight. With no further ado, let's get into the program. This is what you are here about tonight, are the awards and the celebration and the recognition of our alumni and our student athletes. We'll start with the Abby Promise Award and then the Outstanding Alumni Award.
We will also induct 3 stellar former student athletes into this year's Athletic Hall of Fame class. We are honored to have several past Athletic Hall of Fame inductees, Abby Promise Award, and Outstanding Alumni Award recipients in the ballroom. Would you please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Now we invite you to sit back and enjoy the evening honoring this year's award recipients.
It is my great pleasure to provide information and to give out our first award tonight. A little bit about the Abby Promise Award. If you look in your program tonight, you'll notice a description for each of our three honor or distinctions. One being the Abby Promise Award, the Outstanding Alumni Award, and the inductees for the Athletic Hall of Fame. The Abby Award is to recognize alumni who have graduated within the last 15 years and who have really done, kind of sowed the seeds in order to really change the world. And as the description of that award within your program, their efforts, the sowing of those seeds to create transformative change to better humanity and to improve the lives of individuals, including marginalized groups. It's evident within their work within that time period of graduating is evident within what they've accomplished and what they are going to accomplish. Within a short time after receiving their degree, recipients of this award have started their journey to change the world, showing promise of current and future impact through their professional work and or volunteer efforts. It is the promise that they show through their actions to create positive change to better humanity and or the environment. That criteria perfectly describes tonight's Abby Promise Award recipient. Tashi Garoon is a 2013 graduate in the Environmental Sciences degree program. In my previous role as a faculty member, I did not have Tashi in any of my communication classes, unfortunately, but I knew Tashi just from the great work that he was doing on campus. And this, as you remember, as alumni, this being a small campus, you know each other, faculty know students, and students know faculty. And it was a great opportunity, a great honor for me to see Tashi's evolution during his 4 years at UMC. He was involved in so many different things. And I have a list of those things, and I don't think we have enough time tonight to go through them because he was involved. And in many of those opportunities, he was a leader. Coming from Nepal to UMC, he was involved he was a UMC ambassador, he was president of International Student Association, part of SIFE, he was a student advisor, editor of the Golden Eagle Weekly publication. He was Crookston Lions Club recipient of the prestigious Student Seat Award, which is Scholars Excellence in Equality and Diversity. And there's a lot more on this list. So he was just involved and doing great things for our campus and for our students. During his time as a student, his initial involvement in a humanitarian project, specifically A Day Without Shoes, opened his eyes to the significance of collaboration and community building. He came to understand the immense value that springs forth from community of individuals in terms of generating ideas, fostering improvement, and driving revolutionary change. Subsequently, he actively participated in various humanitarian initiatives as a student, which included, but were not limited to, providing assistance in the aftermath of the Haiti earthquake and advocating through a student club, the Clean Water for Everyone, which is a student club that raised tens of thousands of dollars to drill wells in Africa and Nepal for people to have clean water, an initiative that was started by the person this award is named after. After graduating from UMC, he continues his educational pursuits. He received a master's degree in science, technology, and environmental policy from the University of Minnesota Humphrey School of Public Policy in 2016, and received his PhD in environmental social science, complex adaptive systems science from Arizona State University in 2023. So he just received his PhD this past spring. Wow, way to go, Tashi. Congratulations. After graduating from UMC and while accomplishing his graduate school goals, his commitment to humanitarian efforts persisted, especially in response to natural disasters like the recent Himalayan floods, the COVID-19 pandemic, and earthquakes in Nepal and Haiti. He successfully raised substantial funds, positively impacting the lives of thousands by delivering urgent, needed relief supplies. He navigated those endeavors amid the challenges of the global pandemic, which was particularly demanding. It involved overseeing day-to-day operations, identifying key stakeholders, facilitating collaboration among various community groups and local governments, and managing conflicting priorities. All of this during his time of doing graduate school. Boy. He is currently a research scientist at the EdPlus Data Catalytics and Action Lab in Phoenix. He traveled all the way to Crookston from Arizona to be here tonight. So I know as a poor graduate student after receiving my PhD, I hope that was not too challenging for you, Tashi. When I contacted Tashi from our office this summer to say, Tashi, we want to give you this award for all the amazing work that you've done. You know, what do you think how do you think he replied? He was honored, he was thrilled, and that makes us happy, of course, in the office. But about a couple weeks later, Tashi emailed me and said, I can't help but wonder about the reason behind being selected for this award. I'm not sure if I'm deserving of this recognition. And I completely understand people who are humble and gracious and, they're trying to do great things. They oftentimes don't understand the impact that they have on the world and the people around them. And it's clear just from the partial list that I provided to you tonight, the amazing work that Tashi has done, and thus, of course, is the reason why he is receiving this award tonight. It was so clear to our office that Tashi embodied not only the criteria but the spirit of this award. He's sowing the seeds during the first 10 years of graduating from UMC. He's sowing those seeds to really transport the world. And I think we can all agree that the world needs some positivity and some change. And to answer Tashi's question about, why me? I hope it's clear. I hope it's clear to all of you why that's the case. It's all those things that I described and more are the reasons he should be proud and the reasons we are proud of him. So on behalf of the Alumni and Donors Relation Department and the University of Minnesota Crookston, I want to congratulate Tashi Garoon on receiving this year's Abby Promise Award. Tashi. So Tashi, come on up and receive the Abby Award. I'm not used to this either, Tashi. So just a point of clarification, can he take the award with him when he goes? Okay, yes. Rose says yes. This is such a great dramatic experience for Tashi, receiving this award, coming all this way from Arizona, and I'm up here wondering, what's the next step? Tashi, take it away.
that was very long. But thank you, and after all that, I don't know if I need to say anything. But I will, because I've traveled so far. At least I'll say a few words. So tonight, I'm very, very honored and even more humbled to be here and, enjoy this food and evening and cherish this moment with all of you. I want to thank Dr. Thompson, even though he screwed up my name. My name is Tashi. But, and to everyone involved in the Alumni Relations Office and beyond. So 14 years ago, I came to Crookston for the first time in my life. A land so flat, in the words of my late grandfather, as flat as pancake. Because we hail from the Himalayas of Himalayas of Nepal, the home to the tallest mountains in the world, where the land is anything but flat, So I came to Crookston with one purpose, one goal, to get a diploma, to get a college degree. Over the course of 5 years, I've met people, wonderful people that went on to become friends and family long after I left Crookston, and will continue to be. And you don't have to believe my words, just look at the table I'm seated at, I came from Nepal, I came from Arizona, but the table is full, that's love and support that I get from Crookston. Also, I see Dr. Sidorsky, Dr. Chapman, that really contributed to everything I know inside the classroom and outside the classroom. But I really have to emphasize that the most valuable lessons that I've learned while my time in Crookston has been inside the classroom, but most importantly, that coupled with what I learned from interacting with people, from community, whether that's cleaning the highway along, ditching the highway, or serving soup in the community kitchen, or dancing and singing to Nepali songs to share our culture to these lovely people in, I forgot the name, but the senior assisted home, right? So it is through this interaction, and it is my time in Crookston that really instilled the value of community, that taught me the power of community. And as Dr. Thompson mentioned, I still remember the day we launched the campaign, One Day Without Shoes. That day, we walked barefoot and pledged to donate our shoes, our pair of shoes, to children in Africa that are not as fortunate as us, not as privileged as us. That morning, when I walked from McCall Hall, my dorm, I was walking barefoot to my classes. I could feel the cold concrete, and that was a turning point in my life. Because that moment I realized that my worldview has transformed, the way I look at things, the outlook I have on the world. I learned to put myself in the position of those who are less privileged, are not as fortunate as, and are vulnerable on many aspects. So that is the day that I've committed, to do everything that is grounded and in deep commitment to the community. So I left Crookston with way more than just a degree, and I'm very proud about that. And today it felt like I was walking down the memory lane, and I met Kenny, and I told Kenny, you look same. It's been 10 years. It feels like I saw you yesterday. What is in the water of Crookston? I want to taste that. And Kenny wanted to let me know that today you are going to give a speech and start with that. Sorry, Kenny, I didn't start with that. But again, when I was a student here, much has been talked about small campus, big degree. Let me tell you, I have been to small campus and I've been to big campus. It's not a conjecture anymore when I tell you that I prefer small campus any day over big campus if that small campus is anything like UMC, not UND, Dr. Thompson. And since this is Alumni Award, at the risk of making a lot of you mad, I will like to share a short story. Very short. I know you're looking at me. Very short. So in 2011, 3 students, one from Kenya, one from Crookston, which is about 45 minutes drive from here, and one from the Himalayas of Nepal, met for the first time in a biology class. They became friends over the course of time. They shared more than the assignments, the coursework. They shared their ambitions. They shared their career goals. And after they graduated from Crookston, they continue to support each other, motivate each other as they navigate through the ups and downs while they are trying to pursue their career goals. 11 years later, or 10 years later, forgive my math, Levi Otenda from Kenya is a medical doctor. Jessica Ward from Boston is a chiropractic doctor. And Tashi, myself, is a doctorate of philosophy recently. So that was the common theme, that we supported each other. It was not easy because we all came from a very different background, let's just say that. So, this is the network. This is the kind of support that I cannot imagine if I were to confine within the 4 walls of classroom, or if I were in a big campus like Arizona State University with 80,000 students, 100,000 students, where I was in a crowd but also felt very lonely. In Crookston, I never felt that. Again, I have to say this. Earlier today, I met Kim. She was waiting to meet me because she saw my name on the agenda. I didn't learn anything from Kim, but we had wonderful moments together because, she was not a teacher, but that kind of relationship that makes Crookston so special, So I don't know if you can tell that about UNT, sir, but I can definitely tell that about UMC. Again, I don't want to be a very long speech, but I'm really honored to have this. And today I'll take this home. Yes, I can tell, right? But tomorrow, I'll look at it, and it will be a continuous reminder that I deliver to the promise that you have bestowed upon me. And I want to promise one thing, that in everything I do from now on, at the very center of it will be people, will the community, and the environment. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
How dare Kevin tell me I have 3 to 5 minutes? It may take me longer than that because it's really difficult to read up here in this light. First of all, I want to welcome all UMC friends, faculty, staff, and alumni back to tonight's event, especially those 1973 football players. Enjoy your weekend. Secondly, I want to congratulate Tashi on his Abby Promise Award, and Lisa, Randy, and RJ for induction into the Athletic Hall of Fame. Tonight it is my honor to introduce the recipient of the 2023 Outstanding UMC Alumni Award, an individual who embodies the spirit of excellence, dedication, and community engagement. Raised in Enderlin, North Dakota, Amy Longton, known as Loomer to most of us, has distinguished herself and has become a real success story, both in her personal journey and in her professional life. Amy was journeying at UMC, and it was marked with excellence and dedication. She attended UMC, the original laptop university, from 1995 to 1999, earning her Bachelor of Science degree in Information Networking Technology. Not only was Amy a diligent student, but she was also an honor student athlete in both volleyball and basketball. There's a rumor about her tenacity that in one basketball game she broke her nose, had it straightened, and went back in the game to play some more. Amy's connection with her alma mater did not end with graduation. She continued to give back to her alma mater by serving on the UMC Alumni Board, participating in events for alumni in Crookston and Fargo, and supporting the UMC team backers. By the way, if you attend a volleyball or basketball event in Lee Soccer Gymnasium, a very good seat has been purchased by Amy. Row 4, second seat from the aisle in the south section of the gold seats. Amy's engagement with the campus strengthened her bond to her alma mater and her UMC family. In her professional life, Amy has truly shone as a leader in the technology industry. Over the course of 2 decades, she has climbed from the ranks beginning as help desk technician for Aeros, then an IT technician for RTO and broader States Electric, advancing to network administrator for Walmart Truck Company and systems administrator for Tharaldson Hospitality Management. Currently, Amy serves as the IT director for the Fargo Park District and plays a vital role in the development of a multi-purpose recreation facility that anticipates to have over 600,000 visitors annually. Her leadership within the community is not limited to her professional role. Amy is also founder and CEO of Tech for Kids, a nonprofit organization dedicated to repurposing used laptops for donation to children who may lack access to technology in their homes. Her commitment to bridging the digital divide among young learners, especially girls, is both commendable and impacting many youth. Amy's accomplishments have been noted by her community when she recently received accolades such as the YWCA Woman of the Year in Technology Award and Mrs. North Dakota in 2020. In conclusion, Amy Loomer Longton is not only an alumnus of UMC, but a strong example of what the Outstanding UMC Alumni Award stands for: dedication, excellence, and commitment to using the preparation that you get at UMC to make a positive impact in your community. Her journey from UMC student athlete to distinguished IT director, CEO of a nonprofit organization, and community leader are truly inspiring. I am proud to present the 2023 Outstanding UMC Alumni Award to Amy Loomer Longton. Please join me in congratulating Amy on her achievements and contributions to the UMC community and our region.
put it right there. Wow, Jerry, that was quite the introduction. I thank you for that. I'm flabbergasted that I'm even standing here right now in front of all you and speaking about the Outstanding Alumni Award. Honestly, I thought I would probably be up here for the for a different award, but I'm here for this, and this is much more distinguishing and exceptionally wonderful. So thank you. I also wanted to thank the dining services for this wonderful meal tonight and the staff that put this on. Also, I would like to thank the Relations and Alumni offices for making this event so beautiful and so nice in here. And I'm tall, so I gotta do this. So I thank you for putting this together and making this a special event for all of us alumni award recipients. I really appreciate that. My journey began at UMC in 1995, like Jerry had expressed, and I came from a small town of Enwin, North Dakota, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go. The phone was ringing off the hook. Amy, there's a recruit calling again. Basketball. It was always basketball, and we really didn't know where to go. I remember my parents not really knowing a direction to have me go, and it wasn't until Brenda Crookston came down to Enderlin, watched me play a game, and said, you know, Loomer, we really want you to come up here, and I think with your volleyball, ability, you can play both sports. I was like, so I literally did not know much about anything, but besides that, is I just wanted to come up here and play sports, and both of them. So, but that all turned into something different. That's what led me here, and I'm so grateful that God put me in this path to this university because I've made lifelong friends, and I've had a great degree that came out of here. One of the first colleges that was ever connected was nationwide for in any of the rooms, wired technologies. That was amazing. I remember that, and that's where I got my education, was from the IT aspect of it. So thank you. As I was here, I worked 3 jobs. While attending UMC, I worked at the River Trade Corridor underneath Bruce Burleson, did some webpage work. I worked in the athletics department with Marv and Steph, and they just loved me because I would show up, Marv, and yes, I did. I was there. I hated those envelopes. I stuffed many, many, many envelopes, yes. I was there. I also worked a shift at the Northland Inn as a server, and I also worked with Twyla one time. I taught a class in Microsoft Excel, and I guess there was more than 3 jobs. There was various jobs. I worked at help desk with Peggy, and I would work there once an hour a day, and then go to my classes, and then basketball practice and so forth. So I'm absolutely honored to be chosen as this year's recipient of the Outstanding Alumni Award. People would often doubt me, and that was my drive to success, honest to God. I've had so many great mentors, friends, and family mold me into the person I am today. My parents have always been my biggest cheerleader and raised me to be strong and an independent woman, and I thank them for that. I know my father is with me right now, and his presence is always known. I have a supportive husband, family, and friends, some of which are here tonight, and I truly, truly appreciate you all coming here to support me in receiving this prestigious honor. So thank you. Little did I know, changing a circle of friends 7 years ago would change my life and my mindset for the better. Be around those who you want to see you succeed and cheer for you. Just remember that. The quality of friends versus the quantity is a lesson I've learned as I've gotten older. My motto is work hard, play even harder. Just 2 years ago, I walked across a Miss America stage, something I thought was long and forgotten, right? I watched it as a kid. The same stage that Elvis Presley would perform was surreal to be across. I was able to represent my great state of North Dakota in Las Vegas and experience many opportunities. I grew so much during that year, during my reign, and found so many more things about myself that I didn't even know I had in me. That same year, in the midst of a pandemic, I saw the need for remote learning and recognized that many children did not have access to technology or laptops in their home. So I took it upon myself to create Tech for Kids, a nonprofit to provide the necessary software and technological tools for kids to succeed in a remote academic environment. To date, Tech for Kids has proudly donated 267 laptops to area children in need. This is what fills my cup, everyone. This journey continues as the IT director of the Fargo Park District. I'm responsible for overseeing all of our technology needs, from ensuring our systems run smoothly to implementing new technologies and enhancing our operations. I have also taken on the role of the IT expertise lead for our new sports center complex that is currently being built and going to open in April of 2024. This new multi-purpose community recreation facility is anticipated to be a major attraction for the area, accommodating nearly any indoor sport or activity you can imagine. This center will host special events, tournaments, and over 45 community events annually, meaning there will be something for everyone to enjoy. With an expected 600,000 visitors a year, this promises to be a true asset to the Fargo community. Moreover, I would like to take a moment to talk about my two beautiful daughters, Brooke and Elena. They are the reason behind everything I do, and their presence in life brings me immeasurable joy. As a parent, my utmost priority is to ensure that they grow up to be strong, independent, gracious, kind human beings. I strive to set a positive example for them every day, teaching them important values such as empathy, compassion, and resilience. I am honored to have been nominated, Jerry, thank you, and selected for this prestigious award. I truly believe that I would not be here today, I would not, without the valuable education and work experience I received while attending UMC. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the faculty and staff and all those that have supported me along this journey. I thank you all very much for being here tonight, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the alumni recipients. And one more thing, please take a moment and look who's next to you. Just take a moment. Give them a compliment, give them a smile, because the world needs a heck of a lot more kindness right now. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tashi, and congratulations, Amy. She worked hard and she played hard, but she's been so dedicated. A true amazing person. So all that you've done since you've graduated and left here is just remarkable. So congratulations. The Athletic Hall of Fame was established in 1999, and today we proudly have 80 individuals and teams inducted into our Athletic Hall of Fame. The criteria can be found in the program for this prestigious award. And with that being said, we'll begin with our first inductee of the evening, Lisa Duckstead.
Good evening, and thank you for the honor of presenting here tonight, and congratulations to all the other inductees. I played with Lisa in high school as well as at UMC. She was a very intense player and a great leader. An example of being a great leader, Lisa's sophomore year here at UMC, we didn't have enough players for a full team. So, being typical Rungan style, she thought, well, let's figure it out. We got to have something to do here. We got to go out and we got to find a team. We got to make this happen. So she came up with the idea of all of us that were already on the team standing up in our classes at UMC or finding people in the hallway at UMC and asking them, hey, did you play basketball in high school? Did you play? Did you play? If you did, would you like to join our team? And lo and behold, it worked. We got a few people to come out, made a team, one of whom is here tonight, this evening, and that was Darlene Oma Brown from a little town in North Dakota, Edmore, North Dakota, Hamden, North Dakota. She came and was a great addition to our team. So that's just another example of Lisa's leadership. In the early to mid 80s here at UMC, I kind of refer to as it was kind of like the Wild West of UMC athletics. It wasn't what it is now. It was a very different time. We didn't have a fancy bus to travel in. We certainly didn't fly in a plane. We didn't even have a van to travel in. We traveled in station wagons, literally in station wagons. We had one coach, and the coach would drive one of the station wagons, and a player, believe it or not, would drive the other one. I'm not sure how that worked out liability-wise, but that's what we did. A funny story that always comes to my mind when I think of playing with Lisa, and she maybe doesn't want me to share this, but I'm going to anyway because she's one of my best friends. So, it was playoff time. It was her sophomore year, and we only had one coach, like I said. Our only coach was ill and was unable to travel with us to an away game. So UMC officials decided that it was a good idea to just send a representative with us to sit on the bench. And it was our PA announcer, Sly Sylvester, who came with us. And it was a really hard-fought, intense game. Lisa was leading us on the court. We were kind of coaching ourselves. But she had 4 fouls, and she was in danger of fouling out, and we desperately needed her to stay on the court. She went up to get a rebound. She got the rebound. She attempted to clear it by, moving back and forth like this, and somebody, my height, got her elbow right in the face, and Lisa got called for her 5th foul. And she was very unhappy about that, and she let her feelings be known to the referee and proceeded to not only get her 5th foul, but get an additional technical foul. I then thought it was a good idea to go and tell the ref that I thought that was the best damn call he made all night. So he teed me up as well. So things kind of just went in chaos from there. And I remember looking over at the bench and seeing Sly sitting there going, what is going on, after they shot free throw after free throw after free throw for all of our fouls. He didn't quite know what was happening. But throughout her career, Lisa had 2 of her biggest supporters in the stands every game. And those were her dad and her mom, Chuck and Laverne Rungan. She also had her littlest cheerleader in the stands with them as well, her daughter Jessica. She was all decked out in maroon and gold and shaking her little pom-poms each game. Lisa has a lot of friends and family here tonight. She has quite the entourage, but all of whom are very, very proud of her and the accomplishments that she has made. I can only imagine how proud Chuck and Laverne would be if they were still here with us. But I truly believe that they are looking down and beaming with pride watching you tonight, Lisa. You made them very, very proud. Athletics isn't always about wins and losses. It's about the life lessons we learn along the way, the bonds formed with your teammates, and the lifelong friendships that continue to this day. It is truly my honor and privilege to present Lisa Rungen-Duckstead into the 2023 class of the UMC Athletic Hall of Fame.
Well, it really was the Wild Wild West, that's for sure. Thank you, Sherry. Sherry is also, as you know, a former inductee into the UMC Hall of Fame, the Bemidji State Athletic Hall of Fame, and she was recently inducted in, her high school volleyball team was inducted into the Roseau High School Athletic Hall of Fame. I thought that the volleyball was pretty impressive that she received that, because when she went to Roseau, I don't know, 30-some years ago, she had never played the game in her life. So congratulations, Sherry, on all of your achievements. And thank you for those kind words. You have been by my side for many of the milestones in my life as a teammate and as a friend. I would also like to congratulate the other recipients tonight on your outstanding achievements. And thank you to the nominating committee for recognizing me for this award. I am completely humbled and honored for this award and to receive it. None of this would have been possible without the loving support of my family and this community that brought me here today. My experience at UMC laid the foundation for me to continue my education that would launch me into a successful sales career. No matter if you're on the basketball court or making a sales call, all you need is a little persistence and determination. My high school coaches are here tonight, Harley Stoliker and Mary Hinckley. And we can't forget Peg Stoliker, who was our designated basketball mom. Thank you for your leadership in girls basketball in the 80s. We just kept on winning, and we did it without the smaller basketball and without a three-point line. These are some of the greatest memories, and thank you for your presence in my life. So I knew I wanted to play college basketball, and my story was a little different when I signed up at UMC. I was a packaged deal, with a basketball in one hand and a baby on my hip. I'm sure this wasn't the norm, but by the grace of God and the support from my family and friends and teammates and coaches, I was able to keep playing basketball. Coach Spaeth couldn't be here tonight. Her dad is turning 100, but to Coach Spaeth, I can't imagine what you thought, but thank you for giving me a spot on the roster. While we didn't have the results we always wanted, I would say we persevered, endured, and never gave up, which are all great skills to help you throughout life. I have some great memories playing at UMC. Marv Bachmeyer was our AD, Gary Sensky, the men's coach, and Butch. Some of you know who Butch is. You can't forget him. He was our equipment manager. I was always on his naughty list,
And about that uniform, Marv, I still do not know where it is. My freshman year, I walked on with Dawn Sensky, Gary Sensky's daughter, Shelley Lucken, and then I played with the amazing Goobel twins, and we won most of our games. My sophomore year, Sherry was right. We had some recruiting to do, and we hit the jackpot when we spotted Darlene Oma from Hamden, North Dakota. She made our team complete, and thank you for saying yes. I would also like to recognize my parents, Chuck and Laverne Rungan, who left this world when we were young adults. I'll get through this. I say thank you for giving me grace and love and supporting Jessica and I emotionally, financially, spiritually. Because of this, I was able to find the courage to walk onto campus and finish what I started. My dad was the loudest fan, and I could always hear him. He was known for giving the refs a little grief, and there was that one time when they politely asked him to leave the gymnasium. He was a very passionate fan at my games and in my life. My dad also had a great sense of community and was honored by many organizations. One of those was the UMC Torch and Shield Award in 1983. This is the highest honor that can be given at UMC, and recognizing him for his leadership and development of the University of Minnesota Crookston. I also need to thank my brothers and their wives. I am blessed beyond measure to have such incredible people in my life. You have it figured out. Never losing sight of what really matters: your faith in God, your family, and your community. A quick shout out on the live stream to my Idaho family, Brother Dan and his wife Debbie, and my sister-in-law Ampel, who is getting ready for another Rungan wedding, and we'll see you next week. So here tonight I do have my brother Barry and his wife Connie, my brother Tom and his wife Renee. Thank you so much for being here for me tonight and always. We do have a bit of history, the Rungans at UMC. My brother Barry played basketball at UMC in 1978 in the old barn gym upstairs before we had Lee Soccer Gymnasium. And 70 years ago, my uncle Maynard Helgus also went to the AC school here and played basketball for the great Herschel Lee Soccer in 1953. And then there was my youngest brother, Kirk. He played at UMC, as well as becoming an All-American football player here and also at Moorhead State. Kirk came back to UMC and became the offensive line coach. He was a natural-born leader, changing young men's lives. Kirk tragically died in an avalanche in 2020, leaving behind his wife, Ampel, and his 3 children, Camp, Sailor, and Lake. Kirk taught us to never give up until the whistle blows. I know there is a formal process. However, this would be the appropriate time for me, along with my brothers, to publicly nominate Kirk Rungan as a future candidate for the UMC Athletic Hall of Fame. Kirk will always be our All-American. I would also like to thank my family, and again, I am blessed beyond measure. My daughter Jessica, who started this journey with me, is here tonight with her husband Ross from Austin, Texas. Jessica was my biggest cheerleader in the stands 40 years ago, and in her little UMC jumpsuit and her maroon and gold pom-poms, and she is still cheering me on today. My son Charlie could not be here tonight. Charlie is married and lives in Fertile with his wife Anna and their 2 children, Cash and Cordell. Charlie was a successful high school football player and basketball player at Fertile Beltrami and went on to play football at Bemidji State. My youngest daughter, Shelby, is here tonight with her special friend, Logan. Shelby is part of the 1,000-point club in Fertile Beltrami and also went on to play basketball at Concordia College in Moorhead. And to my husband, Lee, you are the cowboy that walked into my life 33 years ago. Thank you for saying yes to the package deal. And I cannot forget some very special people in my life. We just love being together, my family, and celebrating each other. So thank you to my aunt and uncle Bob and Carol, my aunt Bonnie, my sister-in-law Darla, my cousins Susan, Mike and Liz, and Julie. Thank you so much for showing up to celebrate. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. I'm here to present an award to my dear friend, Randy Lee. Most people start out with a quote, and I can't think of anybody better in a football field or a football setting than the great Vince Lombardi. Perfection is not attainable, but if we choose perfection, we can catch excellence. Hardly nothing comes easy in life. Childhood can be hard. School can be hard. Relationships and marriage can be hard. Just ask my beautiful girlfriend. It can. She almost killed me today. Twice. We all search for a place of peace. For my good friend Randy, peace was obtained on the football field. Nothing in the world could take away Randy's peace. When he was working on the field, nothing mattered. All of the 3 days, 2 days, the wind sprints, suicides, was all worth finding the peace on game day. It showed because today, some of his records still hold. Randy, class of 2000, is the all-time leader in interceptions in the history of the Minnesota Crookston football program with 18, and set the single season record with 8 in 1998. He ranked in the top 5 with 3 in a season in 1997. Randy is a member of the Athletic Hall of Fame with the 1997 football team, helping them to their first ever NAIA national tournament appearance, and second place in the NDCAC. Lee did a lot of things on the football field. I didn't get to share the football field with him. I got to work with him for a few years. We worked on extremely difficult projects, and Randy showed great leadership on those projects. So I can only imagine what kind of leader he was on the football field. just like each of tonight's inductees, which congratulations to all of you. There's too much to list. I mean, he is a dear friend, and I didn't even get to serve with him on the football field, and I couldn't speak more highly about him. So his best accomplishments, though, he's got 4 daughters, 4 beautiful daughters, and a beautiful wife, Miss Lori. He's touched so many lives on and off the field, and I can't even count. So it is my honor and my privilege to present my best friend, Randy Lee, with this amazing award that's so very, very well deserved. Come on, everybody.
Well, I'm not going to touch that speech with a 10-foot pole. I hate talking in front of people. I love talking, don't get me wrong. I just hate it under the spotlight. So thank you all for coming tonight. Listening to all the award recipients, a lot of us have the same stuff to say. I listened to Amy, I listened to Tosh, same stuff. I came out here to Crookston in '96 in the middle of winter. It was horrible. Yes, it was flat. It was windy. I had visited maybe 5 other schools. But the minute I got here, this was it for me. It was family day one. You guys still today, like, feel the same, like you never left. Amy and I talked, and it was like, if you could relive your life for the rest of your life, it would be the 4 years I was here at Crookston. No doubt in my mind. It's an amazing experience. You guys are all amazing people. And the computers was huge. It was cutting edge back then in '96. In the weight room, I'm a weight room guy. You had to have a tetanus shot before you went and worked out. I said, this is me. I'm Rocky, like this is old school. So yeah, no doubt. And I have friends today that I have met here. We're like the best 5 friends. We talk every day. I haven't talked to Adam Maresca in forever, and it feels like yesterday. You know, it just doesn't change. The friends are forever. Crookston again in 1997, Grand Forks flooded out, and the professors here at Crookston said, we're not going to fail you as long as you're sandbagging. So as a community, honestly, we all sandbagged. We sandbagged. We saved Crookston together, and Grand Forks flooded out, so not our problem. Maybe we broke the ice and sent it, but yeah. So yeah, Crookston is home to me today. I love coming here. It hasn't changed a bit. But I'm going to bring up 2 people that would absolutely be here today that are no longer with us. And the first is Andy Olsenowski. At Crookston, I think I met the most competitive human beings I've ever met in my life, which brought the best out in me. And I don't know, you guys obviously know Mark Olsenowski, right? So, a legend here. I don't know if Andy was sick of beating him and competing as she was an athlete at NDSU, but she started picking on me. She's like, how fast can you run? How high can you jump? And I remember doing the vertical test, and I jumped like 36, and she jumped 38 or 33. I'm like, you're a woman, one of the most competitive human beings I have ever met. And the second one is Danny Klein. He was the corner before I got here. He had my number 21. He started. He had the guns. He had the swag. He had everything I wanted. And yes, I thought I should start before him for sure, but he was a senior. And I remember a play. It was 3rd and long, and he let up a first down, and I was absolutely pissed. So it came halftime. Him and I went at it. Like, you're costing the team. Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, and we went at it, and then we became best friends. He ended up showing up at one of my semi-pro games 15 years later out of nowhere, and I was just ecstatic. Just like you guys are here tonight, I can't explain to you, like, I wanted to dumb this down. I didn't want to, like, come up here and talk, and I'm like, You guys came a long ways, went out of your way. You could be doing so much, so I'm super happy. I think we're all very grateful that you guys made it tonight, everybody that's working. Obviously, Brandon talked about my family. Thank you guys for coming. I tried to dumb this down. Lori, my wife's like, no, this is special. Me and Tashi just want to put in the work and we want to be quiet. We don't want this. But anyways, thank you guys so much for coming. Yeah, Danny Klein and like I said, we're best friends after that. Everybody here was just welcoming at every level. And I obviously want to thank God and the Lord. I compare football a lot to the game of life. You have your playbook to follow. You have your coach. You have your pastor. You have the Bible. It's not always going to go as you planned it. And you just stay to the playbook and you get back on track. And I also believe effort meets effort. I didn't write this speech. I didn't know who was coming. So I wanted to give you my best effort and just wing it with whoever came here. So I told myself I was going to write this speech since the day I left here. I said I was it. Like, I'm right. 24 years I've been writing this speech. And I never wrote the speech. You guys are getting me. I was a captain. I was a leader. You have to do whatever you have to do in the minute that was given to you. You got to lead people. So I played the game with a lot of fear, and Mike Tyson talks about fear. Everybody has fears. How do you overcome that fear? And, you stand up. I had Adam Maruska behind me. The guy was an absolute technician. He never made a mistake. I just happened to be a little bit faster and a little bit stronger, but I was scared. If I made a mistake, he was taking my spot. You'd have guys come in, I'd be scared. They're going to take my spot. So, yeah, I had no room for error. I would not make a mistake because that gives somebody else an opportunity. So thank you, Adam, for being as amazing as you are. The other life advice I'm going to give, and I lived with Marco Sinowski for a little bit, and I'd climb into bed every Friday night, Saturday before a game, and I'd listen to a tape, and it was a hypnosis tape. And he's like, what are you listening to? I'm manifesting what I'm going to do tomorrow. I can absolutely believe in manifesting my own destiny. Whatever I put into my head, I'm going to make happen. Yes, it takes hard work. It's just you can't eat potato chips and manifest. But so, yeah, I believed whatever I was going to do was going to happen. And it did. For most of the time, it absolutely did happen. So I challenge everybody, manifest your own destiny. Effort obviously meets effort. Anybody that shows me effort, you guys are here. I'm going to give you my effort. I'm going to give you everything I have every day. So, like I told you, I didn't write this speech, so I don't have a closing. So, no, I'm truly grateful. My wife made me appreciate this award. This is an amazing night, and I'll be forever grateful once they switch it to the right year of 2000. Thank you.
You're right about those lights. I wish these were sunglasses. Well, congratulations to all the recipients tonight. Wow, it's just been amazing to listen to your stories. It just goes to show what a special place UMC is, and we are just so blessed to have the fact that all of you attended here and that you were able to give so much of yourself. And I'm glad to hear that the university had such a great impact on your life. I'm here to talk about Frederick R.J. Rollins. newest inductee in the University of Minnesota Crookston Athletic Hall of Fame. I had the honor to coach RJ and consider him a friend and one of my greatest inspirations throughout my entire coaching career. Grit, determination, and the will to prepare to win. These are words that describe RJ Rollins. Some other ways to describe him: tremendous athlete, obviously, a natural born leader, and a great teammate. I could go on, but you get the picture. RJ was and is a special talent. He continues to be to this day. Not able to be here physically because he's pursuing other dreams and working just as hard at that as he ever did here as a student athlete. Within the University of Minnesota Crookston football program, we used to say, those who stay will be champions, and you saw that up on the screen. We didn't work that out between us. He decided to have that up there, and I had it in my speech without knowing. But a champion was identified as a person that embodied the characteristics of leadership that would lead to success in life as well as on the football field. That's how we defined it. If the leaders and the champions were doing the right thing every day, and we had all kinds of stories about what that meant and examples, but if they're doing the right things on and off the football field, the rest of it would take care of itself. RJ is an incredibly talented young man, no doubt about it. No one here at UMC has ever done it better. And I have a quick story about that just kind of epitomizes the type of person and the type of effort and the type of preparation he put in. For 2 years in a row, we played Morehead State University in the Metrodome. That was the big deal. The Metrodome doesn't even exist anymore. But we would go down there and play our final game in the Metrodome, and somehow our closest rival, the easiest travel, always ended up being the trip where we go all the way to the cities. But it worked out. It worked out really well, actually, in the end. Both of those years, RJ literally put the team on his back and carried us to victory. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't like we rolled over. Morehead gave everything they had. But during that time frame when RJ was here, we beat Morehead, if not every time, almost every time. In fact, I think the coaching staff sent him a card for graduation and a gift because they were so happy to see him leave. But we were in the midst of one of those games, and we actually handled him the football over 50 times. It's the last game of the year. He's beat up. He's tired. He's carried it a bunch already, but this is it. And this is an opportunity to win and take us into the offseason with a win. So we're giving him the football, and we score, and he's making big plays, and Morehead comes back and scores, and it's a very competitive game. And in the fourth quarter, he breaks off a long run. It had to be at least 60 yards, and he's exhausted. Gets to the end zone, and he kicked our extra points. He punted. He kicked off. He did everything. And we need this extra point. I mean, this game's still in the balance. So I had timeout, call a timeout. And I run out to him, and he can't even stand up. He's bent over at the waist. And I said, "Put your arm around me." And he leaned on me. I said, "Get your wind. Get your wind. Are you ready to kick this extra point?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, here's the next question. Are you ready to get the ball a bunch more? Because this thing isn't over, and Morehead's not going to go away." And he just looked at me and dead serious and said, "Just give me the ball. We're going to win this game. Just keep giving me the ball, coach." And that's exactly what happened. There was nothing left at that moment, and we just kept giving him the ball, and he kept going and kept scoring. And by the end, he had 384 yards and 5 touchdowns, and we had a win. So here's some of RJ's records. This might take a while. Rushing attempts in a game, 52. That's a record. Rushing attempts in a season, 305. Rushing attempts in a career, 584. Rushing yards in a game, 384. Career yards in a career rushing, 3,073. Touchdowns in a game, 5, and he did that multiple times. Rushing touchdowns in a game, the same, 5. Punt attempts in a game, 12. That must have been a rough game for us. That didn't go so well. But longest punt, 85 yards. Very talented. He was such a talented player. He would kick off for us, and we would look at film and identify in the front row the kind of the slowest and least athletic person. I'd say, try to kick at that guy. And a lot of times he could kick and nail that guy in the front, and we recovered it quite a few times, actually. Another thing, being our punter, we just had a signal between the two of us. Nobody else knew. If it looked like he could fake it, I would just take off my cap, and he'd look over, and he had the right to go. Actually, even if I didn't take off my cap, he could take off, and he usually made that too. Some other honors. He was multiple times. He was the NSIC Player of the Week. He was a 2-time National Player of the Week. He was All-Region. He was a preseason Division II All-American, and he was an All-American in his junior season. RJ went on to play football professionally after UMC. He was recruited to play arena football for the Omaha Beef, where over the course of 10 years he became the franchise all-time leading rusher. He was the Rookie of the Year when he got there. RJ's son Jaden is 13 years old, and they currently live in Maryland, where RJ is a firefighter, and he is studying to become a paramedic, and that's where he is right now, is training. And we were texting a bit today, and he said, "Coach, I just can't call him on the truck," and I know he's, in typical RJ fashion, he's all in. He's all in, and he's working as hard as he can to accomplish what he set his mind to. But I did text him this message earlier today. I said, "Tonight will be very special. You are so deserving of this honor, RJ. Your physical abilities were only surpassed by your determination, work ethic, and toughness. Some people have special gifts in this world, yet they never take full advantage of them. Your work ethic and toughness made you legendary at this university and in the Northern Sun Conference. I'm proud to know you and grateful for the memories you gave me, and as are many other people. Those who stay will be champions. And RJ, you're the definition of a champion." RJ's tuning in. There we go.
Good evening, everybody. This is RJ. I haven't been around in a really long time, and I was extremely grateful and full of gratitude when I got the email from Rose letting me know that I was going to be inducted in this year's Hall of Fame class. First and foremost, I want to thank God. Without God, I'd never have these abilities to do with the things that I did while I was at Crookston. Me getting this award definitely isn't something that I did alone. I like to thank all my friends and family who supported me throughout my years at Crookston. I want to thank my teammates, and especially I want to thank the guys who came down to school with me. I was just a kid from Alaska who'd want to play football with his friends. So, shout out to my guys, Brandon Moore, Lionel James, Matt McEwen, Chris McMullen, Danny Diebler. Living in Crookston, playing in Crookston was a completely different experience for me. Living in Alaska, all you see is the big schools, the big bands, the 50,000 people crowds, and that's all I knew about football. But I got an email from Coach Oliver, came down, gave it a shot, and honestly, that was probably one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. My first year, I ended up meeting Coach Stassen, and the one thing that I can take away from Crookston, which helped me in life, which helped me to be a better father, which helped me to be a better man, and I didn't understand it at the time, but I fully understand it now, is those who stay will be champions. At first, I used to think it was about winning, just a football game. But as I got older and as I replayed that over and over in my head and in my mind, it's just a mindset for life. Don't give up on what you love, work hard, be consistent, and at the end of the day, you're gonna be a champion. And whether that's getting a promotion, a good father, whether that's you being a successful business person, those who stay the course will be champions. Again, I'm extremely grateful. Like I said, to get that call from Rose was amazing. So thank you again, Crookston. Thank you for those who nominated me. Thank you for those who voted for me. I'm very grateful and appreciative and humbled to accept this award entering this year's Hall of Fame class. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Here to accept the award on his behalf is RJ's mom, Denise.
Again, I'd just like to say thank you so much. I am so proud and honored to be here to accept the award for Frederick Allen Rollins, who you know as RJ, but he's Ricky to me. And so again, thank you so much and congratulations to all the other recipients for tonight.
Oh, what an evening, and thank you so much to all of you for being here and to our award recipients. These stories, a couple of times I got out my Kleenex. Thank you so much for your leadership, not only when you were here, but the leadership that you have given, the really values that you embody, that you have lived since you left us. So thank you so much for being students here, but beyond that, thank you for what you have done over the last years since you have left us, the lives that you've impacted, the people whom you've touched. Thank you so much for your leadership. So again, I'm so proud of the work of Tashi, of Amy, Lisa, Randy, RJ, and Mama Denise. So thank you so much and congratulations to all of you. So please join me in congratulating this amazing group of recipients. Wow. So if you're looking on your program right now, you're probably thinking, what is she going to talk about? 30 years of what? So as you all know, this is our 30th years as a 4-year institution. Now, prior to that, as most of you know, we were a high school. Then we were a 2-year institution, and then in 30 years ago, we became a 4-year institution. So it's so much fun today to celebrate 30 years. But I have to tell you, I was trying to think about what happened in 1993, and I really have no memory of it because I was a mom with a baby, and then we had a couple other older kids. So I actually had to Google what happened in 1993, because I don't know if any of you have raised kids, but it's like you just don't sleep for about, however many kids you've got, you just don't sleep for a number of years. And I remember Brandy was playing something from the 90s one time. She goes, "You remember that song, Mary?" And I go, I don't remember that decade. So I did look up and Google kind of what happened 30 years ago and what some of the events that were happening. In 1993, many of you probably remember, Bill Clinton was president, and the first female attorney general, Janet Reno, was appointed during that time. Schindler's List was a movie hit during that time. Maybe some of you remember the Bobbits, and I won't go into details of that scenario. As a technology campus, Excel 5.0 and Word 6.0 were released during that time. And unfortunately, it was also a time when the Waco catastrophe happened. So those are just a few memories of what it was like in 1993. And we were making that transition, as I said, from 2 years to 4 years. and made that agreement that we wanted to be, what's the special sauce? What's going to be unique or distinctive about the Crookston campus that's going to make us a little bit different from everyone else? And so we had great leaders at that time, and Don Sargent was the chancellor. And 1993, 1994, he and others, I'm sure a few of you were part of that thought process on faculty. I'm not naming anybody who is a very retired faculty, Dan Swidarski, and others who may be here tonight, but you were all part of that conversation about what would be a distinct niche, what would be something that could be different at Crookston. And we became the first university in the United States that had laptop universities that were issued to every student. And my understanding from talking with people came from all around the world to find out about the first laptop U. And so one of the things that's been interesting about that is we examine that policy, go, should we still offer laptops to every university student when they come here? Because don't students all have phones, and don't they all have access to technology? 30 years later, we still, I'm sure there's other laptop universities, but we still issue laptops to all of our students. The reason we do that is because, interestingly enough, just as you found out with the technology work that you've done with underprivileged kids, not every student can afford a laptop when they come to school here, and they can use their federal aid and other ways to pay for that. And what it does is it puts every student on a common ground. So every on-campus student still receives a laptop. And if any of you have ever taught, that means that everybody's spreadsheet looks the same. I know Twyla was here in here, and so she didn't get to hear that. Mine doesn't look like yours. Are you sure that means working? It's like, no, we're all on the same platform. But really what we all is all of a community, as you've all talked about, a community working together. And so we still are the laptop university. But beyond that, I want to talk about just a few moments about some of the other innovations that have happened on Crookston. And another one is in 2020, when the pandemic came and everybody had to go online, it took our faculty and staff about 33 seconds to pick up their computers and take them home and get ready to teach online, because we have been providing online classes for students for at least 15 or 20 years. Again, one of the early innovators in online education across the United States. And I recently actually just got home, yesterday morning, I guess, yesterday was Thursday, so, one of those 1:30 a.m. flights when you arrive. I got back from a conference that was held with some of the major online educators in the United States. It had names like some of you probably heard, Southern New Hampshire, Cornell, Purdue Global, University of Maryland. If anybody's ever been in the military, they know about University of Maryland has been providing online programs, Arizona State, and at that table was also us, the University of Minnesota Crookston, recognized as one of the really innovators and creative people on our online education. And that's due to our wonderful faculty and staff who really keep current in the whole technology area. So this innovation and this technology continues, and we recently also launched what we call our Next Gen series, which again focuses, we spoke to employers across Minnesota and across North Dakota and said, what do you want in students when they graduate? And they said, of course we expect that students will come with us with the technical skills, but we want them to have what they are calling, they call them the soft skills. We've maybe reinvented those a little bit, and we call those now the durable skills or competency skills. So we've actually just launched a new program called our Next Gen series, which focuses on, first of all, leadership. Every student, when they come to us, we recognize our potential leaders, and so we work with them to develop their leadership potential. But that leadership potential needs to go just beyond the classroom. We want them to take their leadership skills and apply them into their communities when they go back to their communities or into their professional lives going forward. So we focus on leadership. Again, what our employers have told us, They said they want students to have good communication skills, and so we really, again, have focused on helping students develop this communication, leadership skills, financial literacy. We have a whole program that focuses on helping students understand, even if they're not in business, understanding the aspects of their own personal responsibility in financial leadership. And then we also focus on a number of different areas and those competencies of what our employers have told us. So again, launching that series soon. And then we also online have a strong membership or strong affiliation with, it's actually a organization that helps corporations continue education for their employees, because a lot of the large corporations across the United States have recognized that the best way to retain good employees is to help them grow and develop. And so they've asked us to be part of their consortium to provide online education for their employees. And so currently, for instance, we have a strong relationship with Target, and we have a number of healthcare providers, Baylor and Scott, OS Healthcare, and anybody in that world probably knows about those. We also have strong relationships with a couple of ag-based groups, Smithfield and Tyson. And then we have a wonderful client in the healthcare space. And those of you who ever pay attention to Big Ten, what are there, 18 members of the Big Ten now? I have trouble with that math. But anyway, anybody who pays attention to the Big Ten probably recognizes that the University and the University of Minnesota and the University of Wisconsin have had a little rivalry over the years, and we kind of probably tend to look to the University of Wisconsin as our #1 rival for many different areas. They're currently sending their employees that are part of the University of Wisconsin healthcare system to the University of Minnesota Crookston. So we figure that's a huge, huge plus there and a fun one for us to talk about. So again, those are just a few areas that we are currently, I would say, leaders and looking at innovation and creativity. But this summer we like fun too, just like you mentioned. We like to have a good time. We like fun here, and so we said, let's imagine what Crookston's future could be. What can we be, or what makes us unique as far as a university, in addition to the wonderful legacy and past that we've had, but going forward, what should we be and what could we look like? So we really looked at some really intense questions. They were like, how does University of Minnesota Crookston become the star of the University of Minnesota system? How do we engage with AI and use AI tools so that we are a leader in that? And then we really pondered what I think is the most important question: how do we make the crappy weather up here a fun place to be? So we had some time, we had a good time just imagining what Crookston's future could look like. And came out with that with a few goals and ideas that we would love to have you be partners with us. And the first one is we would love and want to be partners with you, and partnerships in relationships with organizations or corporations that are in the area, our NGOs, our education institutions. So I'm asking each one of you, when we call you, if you will please take our phone call so we can talk about ways that we can partner more closely, that we can provide students that are meeting your educational needs as employers, that we can ask you, I was going to say, if you have an agricultural operation, for instance, every one of our students are required to do either a capstone or an internship, and we would love to place them into your operation, whether you're farming operation, whether you're in IT, one of those, or in healthcare, those areas where our students can learn from you. So if you don't mind if we call you for that mentorship opportunity, we'd love for you to be able to take one of our students in an internship. And beyond that is more engagement. That's really when we came away with areas. It's like we recognize that we are very important to the region, but yet we want to reach out to all of you. And so we're asking you, our alums and our friends, to be partners with us, and help us then to start thinking about ways, those big pondering questions of how do we all use artificial intelligence? And that's really an area that our faculty and staff have dedicated to having that be not an enemy, but a tool to help us all be better critical thinkers with that. So looking at how do we take educational technology from where we began to where we're going to go in the future. So those are just a few of the many ideas that came out of our Imagine Crookston Future. And also, we'll be happy to share with you in the alumni some of the great ideas that came out about how we turn our weather into an asset. But as we all know, this has been an amazing fall, and I hope tomorrow, as you spend some time here on campus, that you'll enjoy another beautiful fall day in Crookston. And again, congratulations to all of you. Thank you for your leadership. As I said, the leadership while you were here on campus and the leaders that you've become. So congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mary, for the great recap of the innovation that UMC has experienced in the past and the innovation that will be experienced in the future to best serve our students. So it's an exciting place to work to help our students succeed. Steph, this is the end of the award ceremony tonight, and we want to thank everyone for coming. We say congratulations to all of our alumni award winners and inductees. I hope it's been a special night for you. I think about the drapery that's around the room, and I think of it, I just get a feeling of a big hug tonight. I hope that our alumni are feeling a big hug from the rest of the folks in the room, because it is your night. So I hope that you feel that warmth. This night could not have happened without so many people being involved, and I'm just going to run through this very quick. Not to diminish what they've contributed, because it's been a lot to make all the details happen for this special night, but we do want to end the night sometime relatively soon. So just want to say, and I apologize for that long speech earlier, and I'm going to try to rush it up early. I'm a faculty member at heart. I apologize. Thanks to the media services, John and James, for all their work in the audiovisual. The facility staff for the prep work for the week, our UMC horticulture program for the great displays, the table settings that we have on the tables. They look beautiful. Thanks to Sodexo again for the really just amazing food and the quality experience and those amazing desserts. Special thanks to our alumni and donor relations group, Brandy, who again couldn't be here tonight, Rose, who directs all the operation. For the most part, you do an awesome job. Angelica does practically all the work. Rose and I just sit back and let it happen. She just does amazing work with all the details. So it's an amazing team to work with. The university relations team, again, amazing group with Kelsey Engelstead and Jess Bankston and all of our student workers. The design of all the stuff that you see in the publications, it all comes from them. The talent in that office is just off the charts. We just want to say one last thank you for all of you for coming tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed the experience. All of the stories that were shared tonight, they're just an inspiration to me, and just continue to grow in appreciation for the amazing work that all of our alumni do to impact the world in a very positive way. And to hear the stories that you tell about our UMC experience is just amazing. And with that, I'll turn it over to Steph.
Are you ready to go home yet? Or no?
I got a few more things to say.
A few more things to say. Okay. Thank you for being here, and again, congratulations to everyone. It's been an amazing evening. But we hope you'll join us tomorrow morning at 9:30 in Lee Soccer for the banner raising of the 1973 championship football team. So we're excited about that tomorrow. We do have an Alumni and Friends breakfast at 10 a.m. in Bede, if you can attend that. There's a campus tour at 11 a.m. And then we do have our homecoming parking lot party at the Crookston Sports Center starting at 11 o'clock tomorrow to 2. And hockey and volleyball start at 2 o'clock tomorrow as well. We also have a social at the Crookston Inn at Scobie's tomorrow afternoon. So we hope you can join us tomorrow for all the events as well. And to wrap it up, we'll ask George French to come back up this evening and lead us in the Minnesota Rouser. George. Have a great weekend, everyone.
And happy homecoming.